Hello everyone, and welcome back to History of the Ancient World. Today, we're journeying back in time to the land of the pharaohs, not to uncover golden treasures or decipher cryptic hieroglyphs, but to marvel at something just as impressive, the incredible engineering feats of ancient Egypt. When we think of Egypt, the Great Pyramids of Giza immediately come to mind, and for good reason. These monumental structures, built over 4,500 years ago, are a testament to human ingenuity and organizational skill that still baffles experts today. How did a civilization without modern machinery build something so massive and so precise? Let's start with the basics, the materials. The primary building block for the pyramids was limestone, quarried locally on the Giza Plateau. But for the more important inner chambers and casing stones, they used granite, a much harder rock. This granite had to be transported from Aswan, over 800 kilometers to the south. Imagine that journey. They would hew massive blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons, from the bedrock, using simple tools like copper chisels and dolerite pounders. They'd then somehow maneuver these colossal stones onto barges to float them down the Nile River. This wasn't just about muscle. It required a deep understanding of logistics, river currents, and seasonal flooding. The annual inundation of the Nile was a crucial part of their transport plan, allowing them to bring the barges closer to the construction sites. Once the stones arrived at the site, the real challenge began, lifting them into place. The most widely accepted theory involves the use of ramps. But what kind of ramp? A single, long, straight ramp would have been impractically massive, possibly larger than the pyramid itself. So, archaeologists have proposed other ideas, like a spiral ramp that corkscrewed around the outside of the pyramid, or an internal ramp system, which is a more recent and intriguing theory. Evidence for these ramps is scarce, which is part of the mystery. What we do know is that they used sledges to drag the stones over the sand. A famous tomb painting from the Middle Kingdom shows a large statue being moved by workers who are pouring water on the sand in front of the sledge. This simple act reduced friction dramatically, making the task much more manageable. It's a perfect example of their clever, practical problem solving. But the pyramids weren't just about size, they were about precision. The Great Pyramid of Giza is aligned to the cardinal points of the compass with astonishing accuracy, off by just a tiny fraction of a degree. How did they achieve this without a magnetic compass? It's believed they used astronomical methods. By observing the rising and setting of a specific star, they could create a true north-south line. This level of precision extended to the cutting of the stones themselves. The casing stones, which gave the pyramids a smooth, white, gleaming finish, were fitted together so perfectly that you couldn't even slide a knife blade between them. This was all done with simple hand tools and immense skill. It's a level of craftsmanship that is hard to replicate even today. Beyond the pyramids, Egyptian engineering permeated every aspect of their society. Look at their temples like Karnak or Luxor. These weren't just buildings, they were sprawling complexes of massive columns, towering obelisks, and intricate sanctuaries. The columns, designed to look like bundles of papyrus reeds, supported roofs made of enormous stone slabs. Raising a single obelisk, carved from one piece of granite and weighing hundreds of tons, into a vertical position was an engineering marvel in itself. They likely used a combination of ramps, pits, ropes, and sheer manpower to slowly tilt and hoist these monoliths upright. It was a slow, dangerous, but ultimately successful process that demonstrated their mastery over weight and balance. And let's not forget the lifeblood of Egypt, the Nile River. Controlling and utilizing the Nile was perhaps their greatest engineering achievement of all. They developed sophisticated irrigation systems, with canals and dikes that channeled the annual floodwaters to their fields. This allowed them to turn a desert landscape into a fertile agricultural powerhouse, capable of supporting a large population and a complex state. They built nilometers, stone staircases with markings, to measure the height of the flood each year. This data was crucial for predicting the success of the harvest and setting tax levels. It was a form of data analysis that was vital to the stability of the entire kingdom. They even engineered massive public works projects, like the creation of an artificial lake, the Fayoum Oasis, to manage the Nile's overflow and create more arable land. So, how did they do it all? The key was not some secret ancient technology or alien intervention. It was a combination of things: a deep, practical understanding of physics and geometry, brilliant project management, and an almost limitless supply of labor. The workforce that built the pyramids wasn't made up of slaves, as is often depicted in movies. They were skilled laborers, farmers who worked on the projects during the inundation season when they couldn't work their fields. They were housed in well-organized villages, fed and paid for their work. The state's ability to organize, feed, and motivate a workforce of tens of thousands of people for decades at a time is in itself an incredible feat of social and logistical engineering. The engineers and architects, often high-ranking priests or officials, were the masterminds. They were highly respected individuals who passed down their knowledge through generations. While we may not have their blueprints, their legacy is written in stone across the Egyptian landscape. From the towering pyramids and temples to the intricate canal systems, the ancient Egyptians were master builders who shaped their world with a level of ambition and skill that continues to inspire awe and wonder. Their work reminds us that with ingenuity, determination, and a shared purpose, humanity can achieve the seemingly impossible. What do you find most impressive about their engineering? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the past, be sure to like this video and subscribe to History of the Ancient World for more. We'll see you next time.